You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network. Visit pencilandpaperproductions.podbean.com to find more great podcasts.
Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me, as always, my co-host, Alicia Finley.
Happy Monday.
How are you? You look exhausted.
A little bit. I'm telling you, my people at work just never want to go away so I can go home. That's what it's starting to feel like. It was a huge ordeal last night, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it.
The perks of the service industry, right?
Sure.
You
can call it a perk. I'm sure plenty of you out there can feel that plight of mine.
Yeah.
We can't leave till they leave, and when it's a huge party and you got a huge setup afterwards, you're like, well, this is where I am for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the service industry. I've done it before in various fashions, and I can't deal with people.
Yeah, no, I'm quite over it, but I'm qualified for nothing, so we just do what we got to do for right now.
Fair enough. So when you're not dealing with people, what have you been playing?
Oh, my goodness. What have I been playing this week? Let's see if my brain will even turn on long enough for it. Oh, I tried another VR game yesterday that made me sick.
Okay.
So I guess I'm still not quite there yet as far as like the locomotion goes. I thought we could do it. We could not. It was like a free dive game. Let me see if I can actually find the correct name of it here. I think I lasted all of about 20 minutes and I'm like, well, we can't do this anymore. Free diver Triton Down.
Never heard of it.
I hadn't either. I had like finished up a game kind of early yesterday because I did do Dance Central for VR because I wanted to check that out. So I guess I've had 2 games this week. And so I played like, I don't know, 6 or 7, maybe 10 songs in Dance Central, which it is a lot of fun. But I think just because it's still so new and there's not, I mean, obviously you have Just Dance, which has 10 years worth of material to pull from. So even if you buy the latest Just Dance, you can pay like $4 for unlimited and you have all of them at your disposal with just the most recent purchase, you know? So the only thing right now is it just feels like there's just not enough songs. I think mine has like 32 or something like that, give or take. A couple. And so and with me not listening to like what the kids are hip to these days, like I only knew like maybe 3 of the songs total that were on there. So I'm just picking songs to do the dances. And I guess I'm doing just like the easy mode. I don't know, just to start off with. I don't think it's going to overtake Just Dance. I mean, it's cool to be in the VR setting and all this kind of stuff, but it's just so much more freeing to be able to do all of that without having the headset and being tethered because, you know, I have the original Rift and most PC VR anyway nowadays are still tethered. So it makes the whole like really getting into it a little bit more difficult. And then, of course, when you're sweating and it's all coming in through your headset and all this kind of stuff. So it's fun. I just think maybe I should have waited till there was a lot more songs at its disposal or something like that. But again, I think you're just better off getting Just Dance.
Sure.
But yeah, the free diver, I'm not even sure if I even remember what the story was supposed to be. I think I just got a little bit past the tutorial, like you're swimming. And so the tutorial's teaching you how to dive and to move forward and all this kind of stuff. And I put extreme comfort mode on, where it like really narrows it down for you on your peripherals to try to like cut it down. But as soon as we got into the actual story, like a ship had fallen, I was in the ship. And so I'm having to, you know, swim through the ship and After about 6 or 7 minutes of that, I'm like, I can't do it. Just the whole swimming motion and maybe being stuck in confined spaces because you're on this ship that overturned, like maybe a combination of it all. But I'm going to have to build up to that a little bit because it looks gorgeous. It looks like it would be fun. I hear it's real short, like maybe an hour if you can, obviously get through it all and understand the basics. But, no,
Just
not there
intense,
yet.
huh?
Not there yet. Yeah, I mean, I've always just done I don't know what they call it, where you point at the ground and it just zips you to that spot. So as I'm moving through video games and VR, that's how I've always done it because it does cut down me feeling sick. And then I've been venturing a little bit out into other games and just trying it for a little bit where you're moving like, I guess supposedly you would through life, where you're actually just moving forward and everything's moving past you. But I'm not there yet. I'm not quite there yet. It takes a rock gut and some practice. And I think I played for about 20 minutes and I'm like, well, we're just going to have to put this one down for, I don't know, a couple days and maybe try again.
Right.
Because it does look cool and it's a short game. So for VR, I like those nice, neat 1 to 2 hour experiences. Cause that's about all along. I really want to put my head in the headset anyway.
Sure,
Because
yeah.
my eyes will start to go. It's time to look at something else. But it seems like it's a great game. So if you can handle it, go check it out. I'm just not there yet. So if you're a VR, aficionado, it's only like $9 on Steam. Go check it out. But I'm not there yet.
Okay.
So that's all I've played is some VR this week.
Fair
I'm
enough.
going to dive into an FMV later on today. But,
Oh, nice.
I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see. It's a sequel to one that I've played in the past. So, and if it's like the first one, it's just going to be ridiculous tomfoolery. It's a Chinese independent company, so it's going to big colors, big acting, big everything, and it just brings joy to my heart that they're so over the top and ridiculous. It makes it so much fun.
Right. All right.
So, I have no idea if I'm going to like that one yet. But
It's okay.
how about you?
Well, before I actually touch on that, since you were talking about VR, I don't know if you heard or not that they did an update to No Man's Sky and added VR.
Yes, it has been quite the game. It's been the game to play.
Yeah.
Put it that way for the last couple days.
Kind of curious. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying that out, but I did hear that what you were talking about, the motion sickness. It's like it's really awesome, but be aware there seemed to be a lot of that because
I would imagine with that one it could.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I mean, think about it. Going in your ship, going into space. I want to at least try it once. I know that I'm going to get motion sick because it's happened before with, I think it was Star Wars. They did like a little X-Wing fighter addition to the Battlefront game. And that was so amazing. So amazing. But again, there was that, oh gosh, okay. I got it. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess obviously people do get used to it, but I think for me, it's still just making that track where my body itself isn't moving, but my brain thinks it is.
Sure, yeah.
And so I can't wait though, because there's a lot of really cool games that I'd love to dive into if I could just, build up the tolerance for it for at least like 45 minutes. If I can get to like 45 minutes to an hour, I think we'll be doing good. And I can get through some more VR games.
But yeah, I'd like to check that out at some point. But last week I was very irate about Psychonauts because of the whole rail scenario.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd go one more time just to see if maybe there was a glitch and it was just messing me up or whatever it was. I figured out how to get through the rail and I got through it and I beat it.
Nice.
I said, ha, good. Let's get it done. So I beat it. It's done. No more. I shut it off. I'm done. I didn't even go because look, I mean, it was a fun game up to that point, but.
And then that's your last memory.
Yeah, that was my last memory. And it pains me because it was such a good game. I feel like it could be done if they do one of those remasters like they did Spyro. They could fix a lot of things, make it look great, much better than it was, fix a lot of those camera control problems and whatnot. But I hate that was the last thing. I wanted to be like, oh man, this is an amazing game. I highly recommend it. But I do to a point. That's all I can say. I did go back to Detroit Become Human, play a little farther in that, but I still keep getting these points where I can only play so long and then I have to stop or don't have more time to continue. And then
it's a long game.
Yeah. But I love how I don't know what I'm going to do or what to expect because there are so many branching paths and I don't know whether or not I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, and it just, I don't want to say it's right. It's just, it's fun not knowing, not knowing what I'm supposed to be doing, what would be the right call. And I'm just going off of instinct, hoping that I'm going to be doing the right thing.
That's how you should on your first playthrough, especially. Just kind of like go with your gut and see what happens. And
yeah,
I don't know. Like, yeah, it does lend itself to a lot of replayability. So it depends on how invested you are to want to see all the different outcomes. Even me, I think I played through it 3 times, and there's still a couple scenarios where there's so many boxes that haven't been shown to me. I'm like, dang, really? Like, I can't make the connection on what was I supposed to have done? I didn't find that. All right, So
yeah,
I probably never will.
That was how it was with what was it, Beyond Two Souls? Like there were a few other scenarios to get back to, and maybe like 1 or 2 more endings that I can get to see. And since they require you to go back to certain points in time, you can kind of jump around, but it's still like, well, you have to go all the way back here and then shift the narrative and then branch off here. And it's just like, but I don't want to have to play all of that. But on the same token, I've been removed from it long enough that maybe now it wouldn't be so bad because it wouldn't feel like I'm repeating.
I enjoyed it more the second time I played it through because that was probably out of all the David Cage games my least favorite. Beyond Two Souls. But I feel like the second time I played it, for some reason, I did enjoy it more. And I don't know why or what the circumstances were that made it different for me the second time. Maybe because I was already familiar enough with it. I don't know.
Right.
But the first time, I think I zoned out quite a bit. Because I know he has a lot of cinematic areas where you're just watching for long periods of time. And that one just felt like it was more than the other ones where you're less playtime, more just watching.
Right.
But...
And beyond that, see, I didn't mean that. The other thing that I played, but this was only briefly, because I had nothing to do at the moment. I was kind of away from my common console at the moment, and I just thought, well, I'm bored. Let's see what I got on the other PlayStation. My hidden games that I'm just setting aside, and I picked up one called The Bridge. Have you seen this one? It's an indie.
I don't think so.
It's an indie title that I must have gotten as a freebie 1 month on PlayStation Plus, and it's a puzzle game. It's got this very unique art style. It reminds me a lot of Braid. Do you remember that game?
I've heard of it. I don't think I played that one either.
Cannot remember the guy. Jonathan Blow, I think is his name. The guy that developed it. He's supposed to be like this. Oh, that guy. And everybody gets all excited when they hear his name. Anyway. The Bridge is a puzzle game where you use the left and right buttons, like the R2 and L2, to twist the world around you. And then you turn it back this way. And you have to find your way to the exit in this area using this puzzle algorithm, or whatever you want to call it. And it's... I wasn't sure what it was exactly I was supposed to be doing because you'll turn the room a certain way and then you can move to a certain area and then you turn it again. You can get to another spot. And then sometimes there's a boulder or some other form of thing that can kill you that you have to shape and shift and try to get it away from you to get away from the door that you're trying to get to or the key that you're using to get the door unlocked. And it's very unique. I didn't play it for very long. Played maybe like 6 or 7 levels or puzzles, I guess. But, yeah, I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more time with it. So it was interesting. But, yeah, that's all I've been playing for the moment. Okay, let's do some news.
What do we get?
Up top, I want to go ahead and make a correction because I feel like maybe last week I said that you cannot get a gun in Australia. I feel like maybe those words did come out of my mouth. And then I was listening to one of my other podcasts that I listen to regularly, and they were talking about the gun violence thing, and they are Australian, and they said, you can get a gun. And I was like, oh, Okay, well, they would know better than I. So,
Yeah, well, we would hope.
yeah, maybe just not assault rifles or anything like that, but handguns or something to that effect. That's what I'm assuming he meant. But the bigger...
They probably just obviously have much stricter laws than we do.
Sure, but there. If I misspoke, I'm correcting it now. So that's out of the way.
There we go.
All right, well,
Sorry about that.
the only real bit of news I have this week is actually a follow-up to something we casually mentioned last week when we were talking about Ninja's jump to Mixer. We kind of casually remarked that Twitch was using his channel as, as a platform to showcase other streamers, and we were just like, oh, that's amusing. Thought that was it. No, because as this move was already amusingly desperate, the move quickly backfired when... And follow me on this, because I was trying to understand how this happened. Mm-hmm. A Twitch streamer of just some guy who...
Probably just a random account.
Just a random account. Began streaming hardcore pornography. That in turn led to a massive increase in his viewership, which then in turn, which I'm going to assume was just by some algorithmic selection, led his channel to become featured on Ninja's channel.
It was because they put it under the Fortnite category.
Oh.
Because if you remember the whole artifact thing too, where everybody was just like throwing this porn in the wrong category for views.
Gotcha.
So now, who's to say whether they did that on purpose, finding out that
I'm
Ninja's
sure
channel was
they
being
did.
featured on Fortnite, or if they just knew Fortnite was a very most frequently visited category. But yeah, so they had it miscategorized because there's no porn category on Twitch, of course. Mm-hmm. So they used Fortnite and had like 22,000 viewers. Yeah. And it stayed on for about 2 hours, I hear.
Yeah.
Before it got taken down.
There is no telling who saw it, what eyes saw it, and, grown men.
I only saw a screenshot later proving that it was there. Somebody took a screenshot because by the time I had heard the news, it had been taken down. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. So
there's probably a bunch of kids that got a quick lesson in adulthood.
Yeah, I mean, because I think the reason why I heard of it was when Ninja posted a video apology, even though he had nothing to apologize for, but exactly he was still apologizing to his fans that may not have known that he had moved yet and had gone to his page looking for stuff, and it was the top viewed one advertised on his page at the time.
But how would they not know? You'd feel like, with all the publicity...
That's been a question people have asked for a long time, is like how that keeps going for so long unchecked, because I mean, this isn't the first time. And actually the husband and I were having this conversation the other day, because it seems like we've just been hearing so much backlash from different streaming platforms, and Twitch in particular right now, because I mean, they're still such a massive behemoth of a streaming platform that it's obviously when missteps happen, we're going to hear about it. Mm-hmm. But he made a good point, which I hadn't really thought of before, is that this is a new thing, right? They're the first ones to really conquer this kind of corner of the internet per se. So everything is a learning experience, right? Everything. Mm-hmm. So and I'm not trying to play to one side or the other here, because if they keep doing wrong, obviously keep calling them out on it. But I mean, imagine everything that happens on the platform is a brand new thing. We have nothing to reference back on how to combat it or what's going to happen in the future. It's a brand new thing, and everything happens in real time because it's a live thing. So, but to play the other side of that, how does it go on for 2 full hours with 22,000 viewers? Like the ones that you find hidden in the smaller artifact category, where it maybe has 30 or 40 viewers and they're not reporting it because they're watching it and all this kind of stuff. I could see that's probably going to go unchecked for a little bit, but 22,000 people for 2 hours seems a little bit long. Mm-hmm. So it's I try to empathize that it's you gotta figure all this stuff out as you go, and they're kind of the ones paving the way for it. But damn,
I kind of feel like Twitch needs a few more human bodies to.
They need to hire some.
Yeah, because I think they're expecting their algorithm to hold their hand and take care of everything, but sometimes you need human oversight to take care of this stuff. I mean, even YouTube needs that from time to time.
Right.
And I don't know. Point being, I agree. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of problems. Ninja should not have had to apologize, but I understand why he did.
Yeah.
I get it.
He basically just wanted to make sure that also everybody knew that this was not something that he approved. It was done without his knowledge, things being advertised on his page or other streamers or whatever. And then obviously his audience is so young to try to be like, you know, if your kid went to that day and that's what you saw, I apologize.
Yeah. Because they have been trying to get out from under that. They've been trying to get the channel just taken down altogether from what I've heard.
That's what he said in that video. Like, now, I've heard nothing about that beforehand because, I mean, I would imagine he still wants to keep his account, right? Like, if he still wants to go watch Twitch streams, the only difference is now he's not partnered, which I'm sure is all because of contracts and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, certain partners can't stream on other platforms regardless.
But see, I kind of feel like he should have control over that. Like, where you can host other streamers, that should be his doing.
But you can. And I think that's why, like, if you read through a lot of the backlash, people are like, on everyone, because this is the first time they've ever done it. And it was only on his channel. Like, other streamers have left, obviously not of his magnitude, but have left to go to other streaming platforms, and their pages remain the same. So you can host. There's even an auto host feature that Twitch has. Like, he could have, and I don't know that he's done that or set it up. I would imagine probably, but why not just let it constantly flip through his hosts where, you know, he was the one who approved of, you know, advertising so-and-so's content. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no way Twitch would have known that someone's going to, like, try to blast hardcore porn in the Fortnite category. Like, I see what they were trying to do from a business perspective, but it's still, it was not a good look. It was not a good look. It really kind of made Twitch look a little bitter, you know, as opposed to just...
Yeah, but you see, they've seen a lot of this crap before. They should have known someone was going to be like, you know, I bet I could pull this off. There's a troll out there for all these situations waiting to jump on the opportunity, and they did. So,
and who is to say it was going to get that much viewership? Because, like I said, this is the first time I've heard of porn, like, on Twitch that had...
he rolled the dice.
Tens of thousands of people, you know.
But...
So I don't know if that person even realized how bad that was going to blow up too.
Well, speaking of which, Twitch CEO Emmett Shear, he tweeted an apology for what happened, said that the account that was streaming the pornography had been suspended, which, you know, I kind of feel like it should be banned.
That might be what he meant to say. I don't know.
But he said suspended.
You know,
he also explained why they were trying to use Ninja's channel in the way that they were, saying it was meant to help streamers create new community connections, but I kind of feel like it's a weak argument, but whatever.
Like it's a live platform, something like that, to try to direct to other live content. Paraphrased, of course.
Now, eventually he did tweet an apology to Ninja saying what happened, quote, wasn't our intent. And this is something, maybe he, again, misspeaking. He said, wasn't our intent, but it should not have happened. I kind of feel like it should be and it should not have happened, not but.
Oh, yeah.
It's just,
I don't know.
Just my thing.
Like, I'm sure what he meant was our intent was to not have porn be the first thing that people saw on your page. But unfortunately it did, and we apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it again, paraphrasing, because I think it was like, what, a 3 or 4 tweet thread? Something like that.
Now, what was interesting about this is while all of this was unfolding throughout the days, you know, of apologies and, oh, guys, we're not going to do it, and all eyes were on Twitch, they also took the time to announce Twitch Studio, which is a new app that's going to help make streaming easier with customizable templates and optimization settings to ensure a perfect stream with less hassle.
Okay.
There you go. See, they use this as a PR move to say, get it out now. Everyone's watching.
You gotta try something, man. Because unfortunately, like the last couple of weeks, they've kind of poo-pooed on a few things there, intentionally or not. But it's just it's been a rough month for Twitch. It's been a rough month.
All right, let's go over some quickets. So, got a few. Some are a little less quick it than others, but they're bite-sized. You get the gist. Mm-hmm. So last week we talked about mass shooting incidents across the U.S., kind of even mentioned a possible threat of violence against Twitch headquarters, which luckily did not occur. It seems they were not the only ones who got threats, as Bandai Namco apparently received a bomb threat at their Santa Clara office in California. On top of that, a 40-year-old man was arrested in Japan for threats of arson against Square Enix. The latter event actually had Japan on edge, considering the recent fire set at Kyoto Animation that killed 35 people.
Oh, man.
So, what is wrong with people?
I don't know.
All I gotta say.
This is just, it's sickening.
I don't understand.
It's sickening.
The mindset.
Like, I don't even know how much more to say about it than just like, people just, ugh.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, what else we got? Oh, Epic Games is facing yet another lawsuit, this time over a security vulnerability that allowed hackers to access player accounts and purchase in-game currency with their payment information on file. Did you follow me on that?
So they hacked someone's account whose credit card information was already saved and bought a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was trying to make sure I understood, but it seemed weird that they got maybe they took their account information, put it on their account. I don't know how it works.
Or if they have it, because even if I go into my profile on most accounts, like, only the last 4 show or something. Unless somebody saved their PayPal info and didn't have 2-factor auth on, like, I don't know. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Sure. Epic states that they actually took measures against the breach, but the lawsuit alleges that that's no guarantee. So Epic...
Which is kind of like one of the things that we remember people getting all up in arms about the Epic Store in general.
Yeah.
They thought the security was... And that was one point that I could empathize with, where I'm like, yeah, I mean, if that's the problem, then sure, I can understand not wanting to purchase from there.
Mm-hmm. Epic also apologized for the release of a new dog companion in Fortnite that was basically identical to a previous dog. I mean, I saw them side by side. It was a lighter shade of brown.
Know they had dogs.
But it was identical. Okay. They are offering up a full refund plus additional in-game currency for anyone who purchased the dog. But you're also going to lose the dog because they're going to remove it completely. So you just get your money back plus a little extra, and then you're going to lose the dog too.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you're one of these people who bought this damn dog, see, look, okay. If you saw the dog and you said, hey, that looks a lot like this other dog that I got, and then you thought, oh, I'm going to buy it. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? What possesses you?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I'm not the type who gets attracted to like buying skins and stuff that just makes the game look different. Like I'm just not the person who gravitates towards those purchases. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look.
It must have been different enough for a few people to want it. I don't know.
But it just, I don't understand, people. I don't understand.
There's some people that I just like. They want all the things. Like they feel like they 100% games if they have like all the things, probably.
I guess, but it's just so much.
And when you're talking with a younger audience,
yeah,
you know.
I don't know.
I'm surprised it wasn't about the mechs. Like, I don't even play Fortnite. My Twitter is all a buzz about everyone complaining about the mechs.
Well, the dog.
Apparently they added this feature in a game where, like, they're inside a big robot or a mech, if you will, and people are calling it too OP'd or this, that, or the other.
I'm sure.
I watched like a match with it just so I could just see what it was, and I was like, okay. But since I don't play the game, I don't understand how it balances or not balances things out.
Well, I'm sure it was just the next thing that they had to complain about because, like I said, I only heard about the dog and then mechs.
But I did see an announcement, and I don't know when it was, that I got a push notification to my phone that Epic is standing behind the mech.
Okay.
Like, apparently at this time, they're not doing anything about it.
Well,
so it's in the game, people, and I guess just deal with it.
Yeah, good for them, right?
You know?
Valve is setting up the use of human moderators to stop Steam Workshop scams. I'm not even sure what Steam Workshop is, other than like adding mods or something to games or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry,
Human
people. I
oversight's
don't
always a
know
good
what this
thing.
is, but good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Microsoft said that the Xbox Scarlet, which is what I guess we're going to call it for the time being, will prioritize frame rate over graphics. They also admitted to dropping the ball when they revealed the Xbox One. So good for them to learn that they screwed up. Do you remember that whole...
I don't know that I do because I never purchased Xbox consoles. So
well, it was during
it might have just missed me.
E3 years ago, 2014, 15, somewhere in there, when they were just the Xbox One. It's going to cost $500. You're not going to be able to trade games anymore. We're going to lock your content. We're going to do all this other stuff. And people are like, what? Are you serious? And then it was so many things like, I'm not going to buy your console because you're not really making it sound appealing. And then Sony comes out and it goes, we got the PlayStation 4, $399, all your games, all this stuff. And everybody's like, yeah. And it was just like, Microsoft, you look like a bunch of assholes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was quite the beating they got.
No, I could see that being a problem, yeah.
So...
Well, wait till we see the price tag on the next ones.
Now, speaking of which, you sent me a little something about that this morning, didn't you? About Microsoft?
Well, about the Halo game,
Let me pull it up. It says the Halo Infinite creative director, Tim Longo, is leaving the company.
Yeah, I just saw that this morning. So I guess it came out yesterday is the date on this. So yesterday being Friday at 4 p.m. So August 16th. But yeah, it looks like it's switching roles again, and they're excited to announce whoever the next person is. So I just saw a little bit of nervousness from some people tweeting like, oh, but we're a 2020 release still, right? You know, so for the first PC Halo. So yeah, and I mean, it's from Kotaku, so you know how it can go either way with that. So we can probably see an edited version of this later on. But yeah, it looks like he has moved on, one of their big creative directors, and a new person is stepping in their place. Apparently everything's still going to keep on task, though. So
all right, well, if they seem to know better.
Says by holiday 2020, so we'll see.
Well, he's not the only one leaving a company. The lead producer of Anthem, Ben Irving, also announced his departure from BioWare. So people are just saying, we're done. I'm out. No more.
Don't know if we're burning them out, or are they just moving on to bigger, better pastures, or...
Well, I mean, when you hear about a lot of these companies in particular, I feel like they're just done with their company at this point in time, especially BioWare. I could understand if I heard more people were leaving, it wouldn't surprise me. After all the crap that they've had to go through, it wouldn't surprise me at all. They're just like, no, I can't do this anymore. You're just going to have to, maybe they know something. Maybe they see the axe is coming down soon, and they're just like, I'm jumping ship now before it gets worse. So I get it. A trailer leaked last week, and I don't know if it actually got officially announced. I didn't see anything that said an official announcement for Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, which looks like another... I don't know if you ever played Plants vs. Zombies, if that was a thing you did. But
I think a little bit, the first one.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. Like the pattern, the setting it up and trying to fort defense in some way. I really enjoyed that. I got so good at it that I could really have a strategy that worked so well. And then when they started doing this 3D battle royale kind of thing, I lost interest. I don't want to play that. I want to play the strategy defense tower game.
Well, we're the odd ones out, Steven.
I guess
we're the odd ones out because those are super hugely popular, and it's just one of those things I look on from the outside, and I wish I could understand a little bit because they look like they're having fun.
I suppose.
I just can't, get into it.
We're just not fun people, I suppose.
I guess. We're just big old fuddy-duddies.
EA actually did announce Need for Speed Heat coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 8th, with early access available on Origin on November 5th. And the game is said not to contain surprise mechanics ever, but we will see.
But why, though? I thought they were better than loot boxes.
I know, right? But I'm just going to say yet. They can say never, but something tells me they will find a way to slip them in later, like they did with the Crash Team Racing. They will find a way. Promise.
Yeah.
I will bet
I'm
money.
not going to deny that.
No, I would put money on it right now. Gambling bet, $1,000. I'd win.
So, if it starts to hit successfully, then yeah, for sure.
Just like just slide that in. Be fine. Volition is apparently working on a new Saints Row title that will not be a spin-off like Agents of Mayhem, but a true sequel to the series. So I'm excited. I really hope they go back to basics and go.
From the little bit that I saw, it looks like it's a bunch of tomfoolery again.
Good.
So it's I think they're staying true to form. So I'm excited for it for sure. Those were fun games.
See, I know that I guess they would look at it as a sense of where do you go from, like when you go from 3 and then you go to 4, there was a natural progression of where do we go from here because you're just going crazier and crazier. I would love for them to kind of rein it back in, kind of like what they were supposed to be doing with Agents of Mayhem, restart. Okay, so let's say you did pick it up from Gat Out of Hell and we got a brand new clean slate. Start from scratch. Go back to basics, build from there. Figure out where you want to go, but still keep it crazy, insane. Just figure out a way to start small and build right back up. Right. I think that would be a smart move, but maybe they've got better ideas. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, so it'll be good. Speaking of which, in that same realm, Deep Silver and THQ Nordic released a statement saying that production of Dead Island 2, which has been the longest produced game that I have seen in a long time, has been taken over by Dambuster Studios, which pleased no one, as they only have one game under their belt, and said game is one of the worst reviewed games of 2015, Homefront: The Revolution.
Oh.
So I don't think anyone has high hopes for this game anymore.
Well,
it's been this
I guess
long,
we'll see.
You know,
it has been a long time. Like, I keep forgetting that it's even a thing.
Right?
If I'm being honest.
I mean, when I did play Dead Island, and I played it for a while, and then I just got bored with it. It was like, I didn't finish it because it was just the same loop and routine.
I feel like I would have to do a lot to stand out.
Yeah.
And if it's switching hands, then I don't,
Well, see, there was a lot about it that reminded me of, what is that other one? Dying Light. But Dying Light did it so much better. And I think that's what made me lose interest, is because of, like, I've kind of played this already, and it's not as good as this other thing that I did. I heard some
news about that, too, because Dying Light 2 is still a thing.
Yeah.
So if they're both, like, going to coexist, that might be another reason why Dead Island's going to have to really try to find a niche to stand out a little bit more because of those comparisons.
Sure.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
Best of luck to him.
Honestly don't have much interest in the game right now, but I'm sure Todd would if he was here.
Yeah.
THQ Nordic also confirmed the return of Time Splitters. Did you ever play that series, that game?
No.
I didn't either. So I don't have a dog in that race.
No.
Konami has filed a new trademark for Silent Hill.
Ooh. Okay.
I think I would be a little bit more excited had they not botched Metal Gear on their own.
Yeah.
So.
And everyone's still bitter about the PT thing, which apparently just hit its 5-year anniversary or something.
How about that? There's a game there
it's been that long.
No, but there was a promising game there, and they pissed it all away for just what?
Well, who knows what happened internally? I didn't do a whole lot of digging, but yeah, those two. Yeah,
but look,
needed to be a
Kojima.
Effort. It says up here.
You had Kojima, you had Norman Reedus, you had a hit because he was popular. Yeah. Kojima, I mean, say what you want. I mean, if I'm sure it was a personality clash. He wanted to do things his way, and they were just like, no, this has got to be a Silent Hill game.
We need it to be done at this date, at this time.
And he was just like, I can't do that, or I'm not going to do it. I could hear it more as I'm not going to do it. but right. again, this is a gaming superstar. He's like up there with Miyamoto from Nintendo, someone who people know. You give them what they want. You let them make the games they want because they sell. They work. So, I don't know. Konami's stupid.
Yeah, that could have been great. We're all just going to have to wonder what could have been.
Mm-hmm. The Switch exclusive Bubble Bobble for Friends will launch in Europe on November 19th, followed by a North American release in early 2020. I'm disappointed that that's the Switch exclusive because I want to play Bubble Bobble again. I love that game.
I don't think I've ever played it.
Well, if I ever get my hands on a copy and we're in the same room together, we're going to have to do some couch co-op and play some Bubble Bobble because it's a fun game. I love playing it. And it's an old Nintendo game. What else I got? Oh, yeah. Bohemia Interactive is removing any form of drug from DayZ due to a potential ban in Australia. However, according to reports, any drugs, specifically from what I saw, cannabis, found in the game were not even usable files or usable items. They're just in the code, I guess, for something.
Like, was it planned on? And then
I think so. Yeah, I think it was something they were going to add in. But since it's in there, they are going to remove all this to appease the Australian certification board so the game can get out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't really feel like that's going to make or break the game because you can't use cannabis.
Right. God, I would hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't their whole shtick they were writing on.
Well, it's called DayZ, not Dayweed. So, that was that was my lame joke of the day. Anyway. Quantic Dream is said to be done with exclusivity deals and will be going on all platforms going forward.
I'm excited to have him back on PC again, yo.
That's right. Now, I got one more story, or I got one more Quiggit, but it expanded overnight. So I got to pull up some screenshots that I got because additions were made. And see, now it's going to be like, oh, where's it at? Here we go. Okay. So apparently the cast of Mortal Kombat just added a few new characters. And we got some actors behind them, too. The one that I had originally that I only heard about as a possibility yesterday was Ludi Lin. And people may know him best as Zack the Black Ranger from Saban's Power Rangers movie, or he was Captain Merc in DC's Aquaman. Well, apparently he has been cast as Liu Kang. And what I've seen of the guy, I couldn't tell you who he is. Like, I've seen both of those movies, but I couldn't tell you who he was outside of you saying, hey, he was that guy. He's like, yeah, but I don't remember his face. I couldn't pick him out of a room. But he is going to be Liu Kang, so I'm like, all right, cool. But then they said, oh, wait a minute, there's more. So now we have, let's see, who do we got here? Wait. I'm trying to find their names because I'm getting last names. I need full.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
Newcomer Sissy Stranger, I think is her name. Where's she at? Why? Melina. I think she's playing Melina. Because I'm looking here on the screenshot, and apparently my screenshot didn't do... There we go. Yes. Stringer. She will be playing Melina, which also makes you wonder, is she going to be playing Katana? Because,
God, I would hope.
Twins.
Yeah.
Don't do this. Don't do this stupid crap again. Like you did in Annihilation. It's twofer. Where's this other guy? Tadanobu Asano. Yeah. I nailed that.
All right.
He is going to be playing, or he's in negotiations to play Raiden. He was apparently in Thor Ragnarok. but I see his face.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you
never
who he
saw the Thor
was.
ones, but...
I don't know. But the one character or the actor that I do know out of all of these people is Makad Brooks. I know him best from the CW Supergirl. He played Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
He is going to be playing Jackson Briggs. So I'm like,
Okay.
awesome. So there you go. You got there's a cast of characters, and I'm sure there'll be more announced by next week if all this goes well. So, haha.
Good deal.
I have no truth or trash this week, so we're gonna jump right in. I'm sorry, there were no rumors. There was like nothing. But we do have some weird news. We do have some weird news.
Oh, those could be fun.
Oh yeah, this one is very interesting. Something. I hope I'm educating a few people because I didn't know this. I found it very fascinating. Now, I know you're not a huge Pokemon aficionado or anything, but are you aware of the Pokemon known as Mr. Mime?
Mime?
Mr. Mime.
No.
He looked
like even if I had heard you,
he's a mime.
Like a mime. Yeah.
And no. I'm sure you've seen him. If you've seen the Detective Pikachu trailers, he was in the trailer. They were interrogating him.
I've seen him like that.
And he looked like he was he's a mime. He's pretty much a mime, just in Pokemon
Man,
form.
a few words.
Yeah. He looks like a mime, acts like a mime. Compared to other Pokemon, he really stands apart because most of the other Pokemon, they kind of look like animals or something like that, and he's kind of humanoid in his way of looking. And someone even kind of mentioned that if you kind of look at his texture in Detective Pikachu, he kind of looks like a kickball, which I didn't think about. Okay. I was like, all right, yeah, I guess I could see that. Yeah. But outside of how human he does look, at one point, did you know that Mr. Mime had a very cartoonish feature known as the four-fingered hand? You know, this thing. Just a common cartoonish trope, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't seem weird. It was just like, oh, yeah, 4 fingers, cool. Well, 15 years ago, during the release of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, Mr. Mime grew an extra finger. And some players did take note of this, but no explanation was really given, and most took it as a redesign, considering Fire Red and Leaf Green were essentially remakes of the original Pokemon games. So it was just like, oh, they did a design tweak. Okay, cool. But the reason is a little deeper than you might assume. That reason would be the Yakuza.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Are you aware of Yubitsumi?
No.
This is the act of cutting one's pinky finger off as an apology.
Oh. Okay, I just don't know that I knew what it was called. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, this is a common practice in the Yakuza, or Yakuza, however you want to do it. And parents in Japan took his four-fingeredness as a sign of him being a member of the Yakuza.
Oh, no. Okay.
So Japan was like, all right, just give him an extra finger.
Right, just make him regular. Let's get it going. Yeah. Oh, damn. Interesting.
Yeah. So very, very bizarre twist of things. But, I mean, I guess I could see it if it was...
Yeah. If that was in our culture, it's something you would think of right away, too.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. That's all the weird news I got. So I'm going to bounce over to some release dates.
Nice.
So, on August 19th, we have headliner Navi News for the Nintendo Switch. August 20th, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution for the Nintendo Switch. They really need to start tightening these names up, I'm telling you.
Right.
We have Rad for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Killer Queen Black for Nintendo Switch. Truck Racing Championship for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Remnant from the Ashes for Xbox One and PC.
That looks good.
Mm-hmm. Invert for Nintendo Switch. And Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Then on August 21st, we have Fire Pro World Wrestling World Wonder Ring Stardom Collaboration DLC for PlayStation 4 and PC. Then Smoot's Summer Games for Xbox One. Smoot. That makes me think of a movie. Claude Henry Smoot. Smoott. Anyway, Smoot. Then on August 22nd, we have Onanaki for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Life is Strange 2 Episode 4 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Black Desert for PlayStation 4. Super Dodgeball Beats for Nintendo Switch and PC. Milkmaid of the Milky Way for Nintendo Switch. Sega Ages Space Harrier, there we go, for Nintendo Switch. Harrier. And Sega Ages Puyo Puyo for Nintendo Switch. And Everdark Tower for the Nintendo Switch. All right.
I feel like it's always Nintendo Switch.
It always is.
Yeah.
But you know what time it is. It's time to play Name That Game. All right. That's good.
If only they knew.
Yeah. I mean, you guys just need to imagine us dancing the entire time. Imagine it.
Like
use your
hardcore,
imagination.
we're in it, man.
Yeah, use your imagination in the greatest way possible to imagine how crazy we are dancing when that music is playing.
It's lovely.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll explain why later, but you have 5. And I'm
feeling bad for me.
I'm gonna give you a hint for today.
Oh.
Okay? Because I honestly feel like this hint works for all of this. None of the names make any sense for the game.
Like they've made so much sense up until now.
Well, usually you can kind of listen to the descriptor and be like, huh. And then just
like
kind of
whack-a-hoe.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's some little thread you can find and be like, okay, that could be that. There's none of these make like just giving you the basics and then you read the names and be like, how am I supposed to know that? That's how weird they are. That's how it's just.
Okay, so if they're too similar to the description, then I know it's wrong.
Yeah, sure. Okay. The first game. This game is all about keeping your fortress clear of evil critters in virtual reality. You have at your disposal an arsenal of weapons to get the job done. In your endeavor to safeguard your flag from evil cows, you will shoot arrows, throw bombs, and rely on your trusty companions to get you through each wave of assailants. Is this A, leather smacks, B, wet pants, C, dry denim, or D, into the suede?
What was the first one?
Leather smacks.
I'm going to go with C, the denim one.
Answer is B, wet pants.
Damn. Because, like, I felt like there was too much of a trend there with, like, pants.
But
Yeah, well. Yeah, I don't know.
wet
why
pants.
are
How wet pants?
I don't know. We need somebody, like, saying no to these things.
Yeah,
Like,
but
hey, no clickbaity things.
That is your. Keep that in mind. Wet pants for that description
Wet
of a game,
pants.
and that was wet pants, which clearly makes no sense whatsoever. So just continue. Keep that in mind for later
Yeah.
on.
When you started going in the pants direction, I'm like, what?
Okay. This game involves using physics to reach the goal. You can use blocks to slow down. Let me try that again. It's that bad English. Okay. You can use blocks to slow you down or bounce you up, but you only have watch out. I'm not making that up.
Okay. I'm trying to follow.
Let me read it one more time. You can use blocks to slow you down or bounce you up, but you only have watch out.
Okay. I don't know that it helped the second
No,
time either.
it didn't.
Ahab, watch out. Got it. So don't get hit by a bouncy block.
There are different types of block. Green block are used to keep from falling into pits. Yellow block are used to help cross wide gap. Red block are hazard.
Sure.
And that's it. So is this
Oh, okay.
is this A, 4-up man, B, per-off person, C, color block guy, or D, Hugh Wedge, astrophysicist?
Well, I'm going to take out the C and D
Okay.
because it's probably too close to, like they said, block. There is a block. I'm going to go with A because it seems the furthest off.
You are correct. It is 4-up man.
Yay!
I don't know what
I don't even know
4-up
what that
man
is.
is. Yes, exactly. I don't know. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. 4-up. Might have to look that up. Hopefully
I
we're
did.
not saying like some really offensive title.
No, I
we
looked it
still
up.
don't know.
I looked it up and nothing came up. So I don't know what
So
I don't know
wonder
what the word
they
is.
thought it meant in English.
Could be.
Maybe that's the key.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In this old school side-scrolling beat-em-up adventure game, you must traverse through snow, caves, forests, swamps, mountains, and corrupted lands through 6 amazing chapters battling a swath of dangerous creatures, discovering hidden secrets, and collecting numerous haps while upgrading along the way. Is this The Misadventure of Melon, The Blunder of Brisket, The Calamity of Jane, or The Setback of Sal Sylvia?
A. Something about a melon.
That is correct. The Misadventures of Melon.
See, the hint you gave maybe is what's working in my
okay.
favor here. Like,
All right. Look at that. You got 2.
yeah,
Amazing.
see? And see, if we stopped here, I'd be winning.
Mm-hmm.
I still have the opportunity to fail now.
All right. Well, I mean, you're still doing good.
Let's
You
see.
did better than you're doing better than you did last week. So
Jesus,
that's already
right?
a plus. All right. This game asks, what can be done most with Rambling Adventurer? What if add some luck and passion? This game is exactly a story designed to present you with the most entertaining way of countless events and results that can happen to a wanderer. In an interactive story where your choices can turn into countless results and scenarios, even the smallest selection you make will not leave you alone throughout the game. Confirm your choices and proceed according to your decisions in this text-based adventure RPG game. Make careful decisions because choices determine your destiny.
Okay.
Is this A, Choose Your Own Destiny, B, the Multiverse Pejorative,
Maybe.
C, The Journey of One Makes 5, or D, A Wanker's Adventure?
A Wanker's Adventure. God, I wish it was. I'm going to go C.
Answer is D, A Wanker's Adventure.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww. I gravitated towards it too, but I loved it too much, so I thought it was wrong.
All right, the last one, because, you know, they just keep getting better.
Impossible.
Yeah. The object of this first-person shooter is to survive as long as possible as endless hordes of zombies attempt to take you down. With support for up to 4 players, you can play single player or host a game to allow others to join you. The higher the number of team kills, the quicker the zombies spawn with your personal kill count, opening up new weapons for yourself, as well as allowing more charges of your team buff. Work as a team or turn on friendly fire and take down your teammates to slow down the spawn of zombies. Just don't stand still or the zombies will get you.
Okay.
Is this A, gutting the competition? B, buck zombies? C, dead last? Or D, man versus zombie?
What was the first one?
Gutting the competition.
I'm going to go with A.
Answer is B, buck zombies.
Ah. As it said zombie, I was like, nope.
But it doesn't make
Not
sense.
it.
None of them make sense.
No.
It doesn't.
Jesus.
I don't mean to be irate. I just doesn't make sense. I don't like titles that don't make sense.
We don't understand. But it makes for a good game.
Sure. So
they're feeding us content and they have no idea.
Yeah. So nothing important happened this week. And I don't really have a headliner. So I figured maybe we could take this opportunity to just plug a few things. Because
sure.
I don't really know. Do you got anything you want to plug?
I don't think that I do, honestly. I mean, you can still come check me out over at mixer.com/Jocosity, Jocosity. If my laugh doesn't bother you for an hour and a half here, let it bother you for 4 to 5 hours over there.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun, guys. I wish I had more time.
I do have a YouTube channel, too, if you want to go watch me do Beat Saber.
Those are fun, too. She can kill it.
See, look how well I'm plugging myself. This is why I need a manager.
Perhaps.
Like, come check it out, guys. Do I got to turn into the YouTube personality? Yo, what's up? I got a YouTube /Lacia_Finley. You can come check me out. You know, it's a hodgepodge of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would recommend you go and check her out. Go hit that little subscribe button on her YouTube page and do all that stuff. It's a good time. A lot of fun.
It's definitely, there's no theme. I put up whatever I like. Developer interviews, publisher interviews, Beat Saber clips. Well, I record them specifically for YouTube, so it's not a clip of anything. But yeah, it's kind of.
I mean, if I would hope that if you've been listening for a long time, you've done these things already. So if you're new,
yeah,
by all means, please.
There you go, please. Check it out.
As far as anything I've got, I've been doing that whole 15th anniversary thing on my YouTube channel.
They've been fun.
There's going to be content. I'll just say this. There will at least be 2 videos per week, at least, not counting the podcast. At least 2 videos per week until October. So
nice.
just be aware they will be coming. There will be a remaster of an old, and I say remaster, but it's as remastered as I can get it. It's HD as I could possibly do.
Yeah.
I cannot work miracles with things I do not have, but I did my best. Trust me, if you do comparisons color-wise and everything like that, they do look better. But
yeah.
There will be the original video presented in new format with new music and new titles and whatnot, whatever I've put on it. And then on Thursdays, you'll have my commentary where I sit down and kind of break it down and talk about it. And I was kind of worried that I really hope people will give them a chance. It's not just me sitting there going, okay, so I did this thing here and see where I filmed that. I'm really into it because I'm getting to talk about these shorts in a way that I've never had the opportunity to do. So it's like if you came up to me and asked me, hey, tell me about that. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting to just break it down for you. And I even try to find ways to break down even the littlest things. Like the ones coming out this week would be the Witch Sister 3, if I'm not mistaken, because 2 came out last week. There's a scene in there. It's a quick frame. You would not notice it if I did not point it out. okay? But in the commentary, I'm sitting there watching this scene and I'm talking about it, and then I spot it and I was like, son of a bitch, because I forgot to take it out, and it was like, it's too late.
Yeah?
It's too late now. I'm just going to leave it in there. So what I do is I back it up in the commentary and say, let me show you. There's a spot in this one shot where you see the lens cap of my camera flops up into frame briefly, just briefly. So you have to pause it to see it, but it's there. So I pause it for everyone, and I point it out, and I complain about that lens cap for about a minute because of all the trouble it caused me. So it's stuff like that, you know. Yeah. Right? I'm enjoying myself talking about this stuff and all the silliness and goofiness and stuff like that. So I really hope you'll give them a watch, you know, just to kind of get inside my head. I even did one, I won't spoil this one, but I actually made myself laugh after the fact on one because I was mocking myself just because, and I went back and watched it for a moment, and I started laughing pretty hard, and I was like, so. But you'll get to see it in due time. So yeah, 2 videos a week at least for, you know, the rest of the month, this month, next month into October. Maybe some pints of ale. There may be a slowdown on that because of time, but we'll see. I do enjoy doing them, but I've got to start.
They're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I need more time in the day because there are so many things I've got on my plate right now that I need to focus on, and I feel like I'm putting other things on the back burner that I need to be doing now.
Well, you saw the DeVecchi tweet, right?
What is that? I think I saw something.
DeVecchi Studios tweeted out, it was like a picture that you would find at a pool, like a warning label, like diving head first may cause injury or something to that effect, you know? Yeah. And he's like, this is the new picture that I've put on all my projects that I keep saying, or all the projects I keep starting but don't have time to finish. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I feel attacked, you know? So
I did see that.
Uh-huh.
So Don't take it as an offense because I've noticed that people have been watching that series, and I'm glad there is an audience that's slowly growing on it, which makes me not want to stop doing it because I don't want to lose them. They seem to be there, you know, and I think that's why I continue to do them because kind of what I said in a previous video, I'm not doing it for the audience, but in this instance, I kind of am because they're there. So it feels like they are gravitating toward it, and there's a group there, much like the podcast. I know there are people listening. I see there are people downloading. I see there's a graph that tells me where people are listening all across the world and what platforms they're listening on. So I know people are. So I don't want to take that from them if that's something that they are becoming accustomed to. But if it's something no one is watching, then, you know. But also,
I mean, I think that's part of content creation, right? Is you just keep experimenting to see what works or what hole you're filling in someone's life that they wanted and that you're good at. And then, but I also admire the fact that you're not scared to just try a bunch of different things to see what works, because a lot of people would be too scared to put those creations out into the world for fear of it being rejected. So I think that's part of the whole journey.
Yeah. I mean, the way I've kind of tried to approach everything now is, I'm not going to be alive forever, but hopefully there will be grandchildren, because my children, they give me no indication they even care. I mean, not to say that they don't. They just give me no indication.
Because it's dad stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we always hear celebrities complain about that too.
Right.
Like their children don't even bother to watch their movies or whatever. They're more excited for the actors they're working with. But daddy's in the movie. Yeah, but no. Yeah. I'd rather go meet so-and-so.
Exactly, right?
I think that's just the trouble of being a parent. They're like, it's your stuff. It's fine.
Now, not to say that they won't watch it or anything like that, but I feel like I have to be like, hey, did you see this? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I was like, it's been up for a few weeks.
Did you subscribe to my channel at least? Come on now, children.
Yeah, help me out here.
I birthed at least 5 viewers. Let's do this.
So I'm at least hoping that the immortality of YouTube will allow my grandchildren or great-grandchildren that may not know me to discover me and be like, that was my great-grandfather? What is he doing? You know, whether they like my stuff or not, they will have this video archive of me talking, acting a fool on camera. And even with these director's commentaries, they can dig into my head and be like, what was my, great-grandfather thinking at the time? Oh, wow, that's interesting, So I'm kind of looking at it from that perspective. It's a video diary for someone, maybe, if anything. So I may never get to see its success. I could be 100 years dead, and then everything that I've done takes
One
off.
of those cult following things where it's like, gotta find more.
And that's probably what'll happen too. I'll never get to know, but it'll happen.
Oh well. Yeah. But if it does, then that's fantastic too.
Yeah.
But by then they'll be like, ugh, this was shot in 4K. It's so hard to watch.
Oh my God.
We have our 10 million pixels. I can't believe primitives used to watch 4K. It'll happen.
But that's all I got to plug. I can't think of anything else that I got going on. And that's all I got. I'm sorry we don't have a bigger headliner this week. It was just again,
it happens.
We're busy. We got stuff
Slow
going on.
news week or whatever. Nothing huge happened. No big releases happened.
No. So that's our show, I suppose. You can hit us up on Twitter at any time at Super Mega Crash. I'd love for people, if you're listening right now, add us at Twitter and just say hi. Let us know you're there. Yeah. How about that? Can we do that? Can we ask our listeners to do that? If you've gotten right here, just go on your Twitter account at Super Mega Crash. Hi. Don't give any other context than that. Just say hi.
We'll know.
Yeah, I'd love it. Also, if you're more into email, you can send us an email at supermegacrash@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram to view our weekly icon art. You can support the show by pressing a like button, leaving reviews on your preferred platform, and even going to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions, where right now, for $5, you can see the first 2 episodes of Super Mega Crash Adventures.
So much fun.
Mm-hmm. Tell your friends to find us on the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network, found on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, and wherever you find your podcast, and also youtube.com/Pencil Paper Productions. Thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
I am Lacey Finley.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.